Hi guys, Ronda Winstead here with you today. How are you? I hope that this video is finding you having a wonderful day. Okay, so for this week's midweek mystery, drum roll. Do you remember this was last week's where I quilted all of my fabric scraps into between some tulle. Tulle is the word I had forgotten. I finally remembered netting, but tulle is the word I really wanted. So it had more of the red and yellow and some blacks in here on this side, and this side was more of the pinks. And I thought it might make a good journal cover, so I thought you might enjoy coming along with me on this journey of what to do to make this into a journal cover. So let me just show you. I've had other videos on this, but in case you're new to my channel, and if you are, welcome. I'm glad you're here. And of course, if you're not new and you've been here forever, I love you and I'm so happy that you're here. You know that. I wanted to show you a couple of other pieces of fabric that I have made with my scraps. And I have trimmed them up, as you can see. So this one could very easily be a small journal cover, which would be really cool. Love this. And then this could also be the cover for a small journal or to cover the calendars, you know, the pocket calendars. Anyway, it was quilted differently. This I quilted in, you know, straight square stitching. Wanted to kind of show you some of the differences. And this is all squampish. I don't know how to spell that, by the way. Okay, so, and if you haven't seen how I did my quilting, I will link the video to that below in the description box so that you can take a peek, because I'm not going to go through all of that in this particular video. So we're going to make a journal cover. And I thought because of the size of this, it would be nice as a, you know, cover it this way. So then I would have to decide which side I want to show. And, you know, it's spring. This is more summer. So let's keep with this. So then I had to do some measuring to see, you know, what size of journal, what kind of paper can I put in here? And I really want it to where I can use 8.5, you know, or ish, the standard copy size paper. What I'm wanting to do here is to make a journal cover. I think this one with Rach of Roxy Creations with her gorgeous digitals. And so I'm thinking that this would be a nice, so this is 8.5 and 9 if I'm including a bunch of, you know, the little frayed edges and that kind of thing. But what I'm trying to decide, and let's just give that a think a little bit. Do I want to trim it like I've trimmed these up? Or do I want to maybe try making this a little bit bigger to include these funky edges and kind of maybe highlight that even a little bit? So I pulled out something that I thought might work. Now I have a cutter quilt that I have been using periodically here and there. And you can see as a quilt, it's come apart. You know, I mean, this is amazing because it's been hand quilted. Just gorgeous. But this particular fabric, especially the brown, seems to have come apart easier. And I was thinking maybe I could kind of, you know, do something like this, kind of have that sort of be an edging and then stitch around and decide where my folds are going to be and stitch that. And then on the inside, well, I'd want to do it this way, wouldn't I? Well, but I'd have to cover that. Well, we're just thinking. Bear with me. A lot of you have mentioned that you like to help go through with my process of how I do this, and this is part of it. This is all part of it. So, say I were to glue this down, well, tack it just lightly with a glue stick just to keep it from falling apart. You could pin it as well. And come out so that I have my edges included, trim this off. Then this would fold. No. This is the cover. Oh, I think we'll get this right. I don't know. So then this becomes the inside. So I've covered up this, which, you know, I can make more. I'm just trying something new and different. Or not new or not different. I don't know. But to bring in this part of it, and then of course this would fold over, something like that-ish. So then what we would do then is, if anything that is included, well, we just do a pocket or something of that nature. And if I take it from this side, there won't be too much that needs to be patched here. But then the question is, should I patch that before I even put this as a lining? Or should I turn it over and have this be the inside so it's basically plain, you know? It's driving me nuts. Okay. Well, let's go ahead and trim it. I'm pretty confident that this is what I want to do, want to try. And so at least I can trim this, and then we'll just kind of, I don't know, we'll just kind of see. And I think what I'm going to do, wait, this one. This, I still have a little bit left in this, and this is just an Elmer's all-purpose glue stick. Okay, just gonna try to tack this down just a little bit, and we shall do the same on this side. Oh, I know I'm covering up all this deliciousness. Oh, that's the bad part about creating, is that sometimes you're using beautiful papers or fabrics or both, but then you're covering them up as well, some of them. And it's hard to do, but if you're going to create, you just have to know that that's kind of part of the deal. So you guys, this last weekend was pretty cool. My oldest son came and spent, well, this is Monday that I'm recording this. He came and spent yesterday evening with us. He lives in South Carolina, and it was wonderful. He had business to do today and tomorrow in another neighboring town, about an hour away from where we live. But so that was really fun. He flew into Memphis and rented a car and drove here, and we were able to share dinner, and then we played some games, and our another of our sons who lives here, that was very nice. They were able to come over, so we had so for a few hours I had 2 of my sons, and that was amazing. Loved it. And of course, you know, my sweet daughter-in-law and granddaughter that live here too. That's just family. I just love my family. What can I say? And Ryan, if you're watching this video, thank you, sweetheart. The soap is wonderful. It smells delicious. I have a grandson who has a love for soap making. And that's something that I have done for many, many years, make my own soap. I just haven't done it commercially for quite some time. I used to, but I just make it for family now. Okay, so what do you think, you guys? Does that, I think I kind of like actually having the top of the cutter quilt, having this backing this, because it makes it kind of blend in a little bit more, where this is all, you know, modeled and scrappy, and then you add that background, it kind of adds to that scrappy look, I think. Now, let me check. I may have to trim that down a little bit. I actually didn't measure to see. Oh, 10 inches. That's probably a little bit too tall. Yeah, that's too tall. So we're going to have to trim that down. All right, can you trying to keep this so that you can see this, my darlings. Let's see. And let's bring in another cutter, or ruler actually. So, okay. So this is a little tricky because I've just not, and maybe I don't want to have to cut a whole bunch away, because then that'll kind of, but at the same time, I don't want it too big. I do 9.5. 9 would be better. And this is 9. Let's see. This is 9. Okay, I'm going to trim a little bit more. Which means that I'm actually cutting away some of the deliciousness, but I am also putting that deliciousness back in my scraps for making more fabric at some point. Okay, so let's turn her around. We'll get her. We'll get her. Hang with me. Don't give up on me. All right, so we've got 6, 7, 8, 9. So we're going to want to cut about 3/4 of an inch on this. Okay. And we will come down here, and we will. So I often use a couple of rulers to keep myself straight, if that makes sense. Okay. Here, let's just fix that, and we'll just clear that off. And okay, so now let's stick some of that away. I apologize. By the way, I rearranged a lot of things in my studio on Saturday. It was just building up and getting crazy, and you know how you set something down, but maybe it's not quite exactly where it's supposed to go, but you're in a hurry or you're working on a project, and well, you know, I know you know. So now let's see about some regular size papers to fit in here. Okay. All right, that's good. And then this will come over, and this will come over, and so this gives plenty of room, you know, for growth. Okay, okay, yay. And I think what I'll do now, and I don't have it to where my sewing machine is over here convenient to be able to show you. I've obviously done some with sewing before. So what I'm going to do is do a little bit more stitching on this. I have to make sure it's tacked down. And so what I think I want to do is go ahead and quilt some more in here, and like I said, I'll put the link to the first video on this, but I'm just going to quilt a little bit and maybe quilt some deciding lines to make it easier to fold, and to get the two fabrics joined together nicely. You can glue it, and if I were doing that, I would have done a Fabri-Tac rather than just, you know, tacking it down with my glue stick. But this, I think this will be fine for this. Okay, so I'm going to turn the video off, and I'm going to do some of that, and then I will come back and show you what I have done. Okay, you can see this is the inside. That what I have done is I have quilted again so that the two fabrics are together, and this time instead of doing the random freeform quilting, I have done I'm sorry for that glitch, guys. I didn't realize, but my memory was full. I had forgotten to delete previous videos. So, note to self, don't do that. So I was just explaining to you, that I quilted this one straight versus the crazy quilting or the free motion quilting. And I love the way this straight stitching blends with the hand quilting. I love that. You get a little more texture going on. So let's go ahead and turn it over, although it's going to be like this. So here is my fold line for my journal pages to go in here. Here is the fold line for my pages to go in there. And I've got it a little bit more than what you would need, but that whole idea is to give plenty of room for space for growing. So this makes it so that this is going to be fabulous, guys. So I may go ahead and just stitch and ribbon or fabric or whatever it is that I decide to tie this with. Or I may put what do you call those? When you punch the hole and you put the little thingies. The little thingies, that. Isn't thingy a fabulous word? Where would we be without the word thingy? Seriously. Eyelets. All right. So I think, though, what I want to do is to add something around the edge, and I think that something is going to be some lace. I'm going to do a little bit of lace, and I'm going to do a trim to kind of, so it's not just, whatever's going to look nice. So I'm going to add that to the sides, and I will decide, I may not decide this part yet. I may leave that for a little bit. And then we shall be ready to make the journal, to put a journal in here. Won't that be fun? All right, guys. So I'm going to turn the video off. I'm going to go pick some lace and trim, whatever I decide to stitch around here, and I shall return. Don't go away. Okay, this has taken me quite a while to figure out, but I think I've finally found the lace that I want to use, and that is this. This is not antique lace or, vintage. This is just some real pretty lace that I picked up at Hobby Lobby when it was on sale. So I'm thinking of doing that and stitching that to the inside. So that will be pretty. That will look nice around. But then, to kind of pay homage to this, I think I have more of this. This is it's fabric. It was a scarf that I have just cut and ripped apart. But I'm thinking I love this because it just blends so beautifully with these colors. So I'm thinking of maybe doing, something like a scrunchy something or other to kind of... Anyway, that's kind of what I'm thinking of doing. So what I will do is I will stitch this on first. And to do that, let's see, but I want to be over here because this is going to be on the inside and I don't want it to show where I started it. So I will start it on this side. And to do that, I will go ahead and put my stick glue down to kind of give it an anchor for my stitching so that it's easier for me to do that. So I am just, you can see what I am doing. And this is going to be pretty. I think this is going to be really nice here. Now if I wanted to get really intricate, I could do a ribbon in and out of this, but I don't think I want to go ahead and do that. I think this will be good. So, excuse me. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this around. Well, let's do a corner so you can kind of see how I do a corner. And then I will finish up off camera and come back and show you. And I think we will go ahead and, ooh, okay, well, that didn't work too well, did it? Let's start again, shall we? Let's begin again. Except I want that to be on the inside. Okay. So let me bring this up so you can see this better. See what I've done here? Now I have this bit right here. Oh, that's not, there again, it's not sticking. I can pin it. But then what I'm doing is kind of smushing that little pump. Okay, see this? Comes like this. I'm just sort of smushing that down, and so I will stitch with that. And that will give a nice pretty edge, and to even make it a little bit easier, I will put a pin in there. And you could put pins. I mean, I'm not allergic to pins or anything like that, but see? And then here it is on the outside. See how pretty that is? Okay. So I'm going to turn the video off and go ahead and finish doing my gluing, and then I'm going to stitch around here and I will return. Oops, sorry. We needed to back that out again. Okay, I will be back. Okay, I have stitched this down, my friends. So we will just show you. You can't, you know, it's not like whom showing in your face, but it's there, you notice it. And of course we have this raw edge here, and I'm planning on doing something on the outside to make that blend in a little bit more, but I wanted you to see how pretty this is. So we just fold it, and look what a fun journal cover this is going to be. This is just from a cutter quilt, and this is literally from scraps, absolute scraps. The only thing that's like real, you know, official whatever is just the ribbon lace that I've put on the edging. And that was purchased when it's 50% off, you know, on sales, so that's not very bad either. So a very inexpensive project, and yet wow. Awesome, awesome. Okay, so now we just want to, like I said, I'm going to go get more of this deliciousness, I believe, and kind of scrunch it, gather it a little bit as I stitch it down. And I think that will do it. Let's see, I could also, I really, really could. I could do another lace if I wanted. I've got this beautiful little rickrack I could add on there too. This is so sweet. I love this, but I don't have enough. You know, this would have been fabulous. But I don't have enough of that. So, and I don't have enough of this. I was thinking about that as well, how pretty that would look. But I think we will go with this. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the camera off. This is where I'm going to sew. I'm going to start here and just kind of scrunch it as I go. Will I use a zigzag? Maybe. I might use a zigzag on this. We will see. And then I will return, my friends, and show you the finished journal cover, with the exception of, oh, if I was going to stitch through a tie or ribbon or fabric in there, I should have done that between the layers of this and this. So I guess that's not what we're going to do. I guess we will do the regular with the eyelet punch and put a hole in that way. All right, guys, I shall be right back. Okay, I am done with stitching the lace and zigzagging this trim. As you can see, I've tried to kind of ruffle it a bit, and it's very loose, but I really like the way it goes together. Turn that over. Isn't that pretty? So, this is going to be it for this video. Join me next time. Oh, and I think it's this way actually, because there's the fold, the first fold, and there's the second fold. Yes, just like this. So join me again, please, for Midweek Mystery. The mystery is, who knows? What shall we do? Yeah, so I will start working on this journal. I've got my journal cover done, or mainly done. Still have to do some type of a wrap and perhaps some kind of an image here. I don't know. I think it's beautiful without, so we shall see. All right, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I hope this was somewhat inspirational, giving you some ideas of things that you can do. Until next video, just know that I love you and have a fabulous day. Bye-bye now.